Suppressed or unprocessed emotional pain or other negative emotion are not always loud or not always obvious. Very often they can hide under certain habits, emotional patterns, or even physical sensation that may seem normal until you start looking closer at them. And in this video I want to share with you 8 signs of unprocessed pain that may be draining your energy and stealing joy from you and influencing your everyday life. By looking at these signs, you can become more aware of what's really going on with you. And I also share with you some resources that can help you to start processing and healing it. And the first sign is strong emotional overreactions on small triggers. Sometimes you may notice like something really small, someone's tone of voice, delayed message, or a small mistake can give you very strong emotional reaction, way bigger than the situation deserves it. Quite often it means that it's not about what's happening here and now. It's just a trigger that reminds you of some old situations, some situation where there was too much pain that was not really processed and healed. And now when you encounter certain situation that trigger a bit of similar emotions, they can bring back all these strong emotions that were not really processed in the past. The second one is a chronic procrastination and self-sabotage. If you find in yourself delaying things that are important to you, that you really care about, or maybe you see how again and again you're blocking yourself from making progress, it could be a sign of emotional protection. Suppressed feelings of shame, fear, anger can be stopping you from taking action, from achieving results, because like this you're avoiding to face some judgment, to face feelings of being not enough, to face some failures or disappointments, especially if you face some self-worth wound in the past, or maybe you faced some disappointments that really hurt you but you never really dealt with this properly. Now it can be stuck in your subconscious and it can block all your efforts to trying to change something. The third one is avoidance behavior, like scrolling, binge watching, or overeating. When we're using all sorts of ways to distract ourselves, when we can't be present with our feelings, present with what's going on, it's very often a sign of unprocessed emotion. Because when we're watching, when we're reading, when we're scrolling, when we indulge into emotional eating, it numbs our feeling, it numbs our pain, and it distracts us. So we will never look at what is going on underneath the surface level. Chronic fatigue or physical tension. If you're feeling constantly tired without even doing anything too demanding, too difficult, and maybe you feel like you're staying always in certain tension, difficult to relax, it could be another sign that your body, your psyche is working hard to keep certain emotions suppressed, so you will not look at them, because it can feel like a danger to look at something that was so painful or so difficult that creates you so much stress in the past. So very often when you feel tired for a long time without doing much, and you don't have any health condition that can explain this problem, this means that your energy is used to suppress these difficult emotions. The next one is emotional numbness or feeling disconnected. This is an opposite way to deal with suppressed emotions from emotional overreaction, but they both lead to the same problem. This works in another defense mechanism, to not connect to the emotion at all. So you may feel like you live on autopilot, nothing really makes you very sad or very angry. You kind of calm, but you also don't feel joy. Things doesn't give you this pleasure, this kind of taste of life, desire to live, desire to do things. You can't fully enjoy something, because when we block our connection with our feelings, we'll not only block fear, sadness, anger, all the negative ones. At this moment, we also lose touch with the joy, with happiness, with love, with gratitude, with excitement, with all other positive emotions. The next one is feeling overwhelmed easily by simple tasks. If simple things like answering email or cleaning something in your apartment feel for you like something massive, and exhausting, that you see that you need to put a lot of effort to do this thing, this could be also a sign that your energy is used for something else, and something that is so easy for someone else demands from you much more emotional effort and much more of your energy. The next one is difficulty relaxing even when everything seems fine. If you ever experience this situation when you finally did something, you finally maybe solved some problem, you in a situation when it's time to relax and to enjoy, you still can't. Your mind is searching for other problems, for other dangers. You can't feel comfortable. There is some anxiety coming, or some tension, or some other things like this. It's always a sign that your nervous system doesn't know how to stay safe. It's never learned it. It's very often a sign of some emotional traumas in the childhood that didn't let your nervous system to develop in a healthy, strong and resilient way. And I have a full video about it when I'm talking about dysregulated nervous system. I will link it, and if you think that this is your problem, you can check it. And the last one is self-critic and inner blame. Having harsh self-criticism is not our natural state. It's something that we learned, a certain also emotional protection. It usually is a result of self-worth wounds in our childhood. It's a lot of suppressed guilt, shame, or these feelings of being not good enough. And sometimes we think that by having this expectation of how we should be, by pushing ourselves with these critics, we will finally become better and feel better, and we will avoid this very strong feeling of low self-worth, of shame, of I'm not good enough. In reality, it's never helping us to arrive to the state where we finally feel good enough. It's only suppressing these negative feelings and emotional traumas from childhood. And if you see that it's your problem, I have a full playlist about self-love. There are videos about self-love, self-acceptance, and a journal practice about how you can stop your inner critic. Those all will be very helpful for you if you're struggling with this issue. If you recognize yourself in any of the signs or symptoms, especially if you notice that you have many of them, that could be a big step from you to get this awareness of what's really going on with you, understanding that you're not lazy, you're not broken, there is nothing wrong with you. You just carry some unprocessed pain, some suppressed emotions. And if you're ready to do something about it, there are certain things that can help you. I have a video where I explain how can you process your emotion in a healthy way. Once you start learning and processing the suppressed emotion, you will finally start feeling better. Yes, in the beginning it's uncomfortable because you have to face everything that usually you're putting aside, hiding and suppressing. But the problem with the emotions, they're not really disappearing if you're hiding from them. They naturally go away once they admitted, accepted and processed. And there's a great book of David Hawkins when explains each of the emotion. He starts from shame, guilt, apathy, anger, fear, all of them. How you slowly go through negative ones to positive ones. And I have a video review on this book and on these techniques that helped me so much. I've been using this for years because we always have something that can trigger emotions, and I actually accumulated a lot of suppressed ones and I'm still working on them. But every time I do this work, every time I feel better. Very often our suppressed emotions drain our energy and we can start thinking that we're just lazy, something is wrong with us, that we're procrastinating and we just need to force ourselves to do more. On this topic I have another video where I explain this is not laziness, and I also share certain tips that can be helpful to overcome this state. And this video is a part of a playlist that I called Get Your Energy Back, and there are other things that you can check and use to start getting back your energy. All these videos that I mentioned, there are a lot of useful things that you can use, try, implement in your life, and I'm sure that you will feel much better if you will start doing this. But if you notice that you're carrying some emotional wound from your childhood, that you need some help to process, I'm also offering one-to-one coaching where we can gently identify this root cause of this trauma and we can heal it together. If you want more information about it, you can check my website. I will link it in the description, and if you have any question, you can always contact me. And if you like this video and you want to continue receiving helpful content on the topic of inner healing, self-growth and self-development, you can subscribe to my channel.